Hey, what up, decisive marketers? I think that in the recent years, integration and automation is becoming a lot more mainstream, right? A lot of people are trying to automate their workflow because we are all busy people and we need more time in our life, and I think that's a great thing because I am a huge automation enthusiast, and I talked about a plugin recently. It's called Flowmatic, which is a great plugin. I have a couple of videos on automation in my channel as well, mainly focusing on Pabbly Connect. Okay, and of course we all know that Zapier is a very good it's one of the biggest solution out there, and I'm going to be talking about another plugin today. Is called Beat Integrations. Now, Beat Integrations is a little bit different from your from Flowmatic, right? So and once I dive in, you will see the differences instantly. Now, Flowmatic is more for creating an automation workflow. So you have a trigger, and you can have multiple actions after that. Now, with Beat integrations, I would say that it's more like an integration plugin or a connector plugin, right? So it's connecting one plugin or app to another plugin or app. So that's kind of what Beat integrations does. Now, I think Beat integrations, if I were to say how it's a little bit similar to other plugins, would be something like Uncanny Automator, WPFusion, Autonami Connectors. Those are the kind of plugins that would be similar to Beat integrations right here. Okay, so before I dive into Beat integrations, be sure to hit that subscribe button if you'd like to see more digital marketing and e-commerce content. So one thing cool about Beat integrations, okay, so what happens is that I have the pro version of the plugin right here. You want to install the base plugin, which is the free plugin. You can install it from the WordPress plugin repository, and then install the pro version right here. Okay, so we have the Beat integrations pro right here. Okay, so it's loading up right now. So with Beat Integrations Pro, right, you have access to, I think, 60 over apps, right? You have about 60 over different apps in Beat Integrations. Okay, so my internet is a little bit slow here, so it is not necessarily the plugin itself, right? So once you click create, right, you can then choose the range of apps that you can integrate with. So right here, what they have and what they integrate with is mostly plugins. I think pretty much all of them are plugins, in fact. Okay, so it's more like a connector plugin, I would say, where it connects your WordPress site to a different solution, right, to a different app itself, which we'll take a look at the action later. So you can have multiple triggers right here. You can have Tutor, LMS, Everest Forms, Studio Card. All of these are WordPress plugins, right? So Ninja Forms, right? So they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, right? So 13, 26 plus 2, so they got 28 triggers right here. All of them are WordPress plugins, so that is something to take note of as well. I mean, because I know that some of you are comparing this plugin with Flowmatic. So Flowmatic allows you to connect third-party apps that are not WordPress based. With Beat integrations is more for connecting plugins or your WordPress site with something else, right? But that doesn't mean that Beat integrations can't connect third-party apps, right? So because what happens is that they do have webhook right here. Okay, so you can send a webhook into Beat integrations. Okay, so that's what they have right here. And so let's say because I don't have any of these plugins installed right here, I'm just going to choose user registration, right? So this is actually your WordPress site itself. Whenever someone signs up, okay, whenever someone signs up, I can then connect it with any of these apps right here. So we have active campaign, ends and apps, Autonami, blah blah blah. So and chart. So you start to see third-party apps in here, right? So the action apps are all in here. Okay. So let's say I were to select let's say mail, so I can trigger a mail, and this is I believe sent from your WordPress site itself. So it's your PHP mail. Okay, unless you are using a SMTP plugin such as Fluent SMTP, or even Beat apps themselves have a SMTP plugin as well. So these are your emails. Okay, so let's say okay, so one thing they do have a small little issue right here with the UI is that it's being cropped up right here, but of course I think there's a small issue and they will be fixing this very soon. So you got from, and then your two emails. You can of course you can type your own as well, right? So you can send that email to someone. Okay, and then your BCC, CC, so you can even set all those up as well, and then you can have it replied to someone else. So pretty much setting up an email right here. This is very simple to use. Okay, and let's say for the registration, so this is where I find Beat integrations a little bit tedious to use, because what happens is that I have to map these fields together. So I have to set everything up right. It doesn't automatically connect them for me. So I have to set. Okay, so let's say the registration form has a email field, right? So then that will be linked to the user field in WordPress for emails, and then I can connect the rest as well. So let's say they want to set a let's say their first name is going to be their nickname. Okay, so I can set that up myself, right? So so the UI or I would say the UI and UX at this section is a little bit tedious for anyone who is not very technical, because it's not very user friendly right here, right? So something to take note of, and then you've got your user email notification. So this is going to send an email to the user, and then this is going to send the admins an email notification, and then you can set the roles and whether you want to auto log in them after registration, and then the user field mapping, right? So you can set the fields. Let's say you want to set, let me see, let's say you want to set a particular field with a particular value, then you can put, you can do it here as well. This is mapping the user field from the form, right? That means the registration form is going to connect with the user field. This is connecting the this is setting the value of the field. Okay, and then you can set conditional logic. So if So this is something that I would say Flowmatic doesn't have this, which is conditional logic or routers, in the sense where if the form field, for example, the email is not something, right, or my email, then it's going to be something else. It's going to do it's going to then, okay, or I can select a field here. Okay, so the value, if it's not something, then or okay, so I kind of get a little bit confused right here, because it doesn't say what happens after the conditional logic. So in my opinion, I kind of feel like they should put so what happens is that at this point, how it works is that if the fields is if it matches the fields right here, then the integration is going to happen, right? That means the value is going to be passed on and create a new user. Okay, so that is that's kind of how it works right here. I think that there would be a better way for them to present this UX, right? So they may what I would recommend is kind of go back to the drawing board and see how they can make it easier for them to set it up. Okay, and then you've got the like Multic and all that kind of stuff right here. I think I have WooCommerce installed on this page, right? So okay, so it's connected to WooCommerce. Okay, so next, and then let's say the customer. Okay, username. Okay. Okay, so I'm not really sure what this is. I think it's creating a user in WooCommerce, or creating a customer in WooCommerce to edit, right? See if we can switch this out. Yep, I think what happens is that it kind of sets it to a customer. I think, not, I'm not entirely sure, but because it doesn't say what it does. So I think the Beat apps, because this plugin is still a little bit new, they would need to kind of sort this out based on customer feedback, right, to improve the ease of use of the plugin itself. So form fields, email. So let's say they fill in maybe a few right here. It's being mapped as the product name. Okay, so I guess this one is you could enter a field. You can enter a form, and the form creates a product. Okay, it creates a product, but the number of fields in the WooCommerce fields are a little bit limited, because you can't set like the price and stuff like that, right? So it doesn't have like the price and all that, so that's missing. Okay, so let's jump into settings, right? So there is okay, so we can set when do you want to, the logs, right? So maybe like 3 weeks. How long do you want to keep the task history, right? And then whether you want to erase all the data, the plugin in deletion. So that means when you delete the plugin, it removes all the option data, and I think the tables as well. So you get a clean uninstallation of the plugin. Okay. So, and pretty much that's what Beat integrations is. So overall, what I feel about Beat integrations is that like I said, it's a connector plugin. It's not really a automation workflow plugin, and there's no option for me to activate. So let me just kind of jump back in, right? Because I kind of tested this earlier. So for example, if I were to click on, let's say, Fluent Forms right here, and I don't have Fluent Forms installed, so what happens is that it will try to detect whether I have the plugin installed. So I'm not sure if all these triggers are, all these trigger apps are actively are actually always active in the plugin itself. So it may kind of slow down the website. I am not sure because because with, for example, Flowmatic, if I don't install that app that I want to integrate or automate, it is not installed. Basically, it's not sort of built into the base plugin itself. So I am not sure if what happens is that if they continuously add more apps into Beat integrations, will it become a lot heavier, right? The plugin would become a lot heavier. So that's something to consider as well. So that's one thing. The next thing is that there is no multi-steps. There is conditional flow, but there is no conditional logic, but there's no multi-step, and there's no scheduler as well, right? So pretty much all it does is that when there's something that happens, it will automatically connect that data to somewhere else. To, let's say, a WordPress plugin, maybe someone submits a Fluent form, it does something else, right? So like it creates a WooCommerce product, or it creates a new user, it adds the user to Mautic, whichever it is, right? So that's kind of what it does. It doesn't do more than that. So for example, if you have a form submission in Fluent Forms, it creates, let's say, it sends that data into an email verifier, and then wait for the result. And if the result is valid, then subscribe the user into Mautic, for example. So it's not able to do something like that. There's no automation, I would say, right? So if you need multi-steps, Beat integration is not able to do that. It is more like a automation connector plugin, such as Autonami Connectors, such as WPFusion. That is, I would say, or Uncanny Automator. I would say that is the closest alternative of Beat integrators, Beat integration itself. Whereas with Flowmatic, you are pretty much trying to build a Zapier or WordPress website itself. So that's the main difference right here. So I guess that's all I have to share about Beat integrations. I think overall, with the price that is being offered, right? Because if you were to purchase, let's say, Uncanny Automator, I think it costs you quite a bit of money, and it's on a yearly basis. And then for Autonami, you get access to it only when you pay for the higher plan that gives you access to Autonami, which is at least, I think, $200 a year. And then for WPFusion, I think it costs also about $200 a year, at least, and then the lifetime plan is like $700. So it is very pricey for sure. But with Beat integrations, it's only, if I'm not wrong, it's only about $49, and you pay it once, you can use it for life. So it is, of course, a much more price, budget friendly price, while you may have to spend a little bit of time to understand the UI UX. So there is some pros and cons right here. Okay, but otherwise, as a new plugin, they do have 60 over apps integrated, so that's a very good achievement as a brand new plugin. Okay, and I think that's all I have to say. I think overall, it's, you get what you pay for. It's a good it does what it does. Good plugin, has a lot of integrations already, just that it is the UX would have to be improved on. Okay, if you enjoyed this video, do give me a thumbs up. If you know anyone who could benefit from the integrations, be sure to share this video with them. And lastly, if you know anyone who could benefit from a like a WordPress plugin integration plugin, right? That means you're connecting from your WordPress site to somewhere else, right? Be sure to share this video with them, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.